Okay, I'm driving, doing about 50 and 55 mile an hour zone. My my whole philosophy in driving is an old idiom or an old idiot. That's me. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. Well, when I was young, I was a leader. I led people. I was okay at it, not great. Then I was getting to middle age, and I started thinking, I am so tired of having to keep track and babysit all these people, i.e., leading and management. I think I'll just go get one of those jobs that these guys have had working for me and follow. So I got jobs that I was an employee. The only one that was good was I was driving for a shuttle company, took people to and from the airport, a little van. It was wonderful. I did that for 7 years and loved every minute of it. Didn't make any money, but I made enough to survive, and I was happy. And then all of a sudden I was having shoulder pain where I couldn't lift their luggage, and I tried to hide it, but it was discovered, and so I had to get a desk job, and that was a total follow. I had a manager always breathing down my neck and stuff, and I sucked at following. So as soon as I got retirement age with benefits from being retired, 63 and a half it was at that time, I quit, and I became get out of the way. And I've been gotten out of the way ever since. So in driving a car, just driving around town, I do the same thing I did when I was driving that shuttle van. I drove the speed limit, and people would say nobody drives the speed limit. Well, if you drive the speed limit, you don't see anybody driving the speed limit except people like you. But you hardly ever run into somebody like you because they're either in front of you by about a mile or behind you by about a mile. And then it looks like everyone else is passing you. So it looks like everyone else is speeding. So it's quite the enigma. But the thing about driving, I still drive like that now. I do the speed limit, and people just pass me all the time. And the part that says lead, follow, or get out of the way, sometimes there'll be somebody wanting a 2-lane road. They'll be right behind me on my bumper. So I'll get into the fast lane, let them pass, and get back over. And I don't know what's up with them. I remember one episode of Everybody Loves Raymond. The father, played by Peter Boyle, who was definitely amazing. He was explaining how he drives in traffic. He says, you get on somebody's bumper, you stay on them till they get out of your way. So that would be the only reason I think somebody was in the right lane and on my bumper when I'm doing the speed limit. So I get out of their way. They're crazy. That's one thing that I learned at driving the shuttle in the training sessions they'd have periodically, refresher courses and stuff. Anyway, they'd say people out there are crazy. They're nuts, and if they're on your bumper and they won't go around you, get out of their way. Let them go. They're crazy. You already know that they're crazy. Don't let them keep up the crazy work. Get out of their way. So that's the way I drive. And right now I'm on my way to get a battery. I've always bought brand new cars, except one time when we bought a car for our daughter when she turned 16. So, anyway, the car I'm driving is the last car I bought, and it was brand new. We bought it 16 years ago. Wow. 17 years ago. Double wow. Anyway, I have bought a new alternator once. Tires, I think we just bought a set now, and they weren't really worn out, but I had a mechanic that I no longer have that mechanic that rebuilt the front end, which needed to be rebuilt, and it worked real well, but he didn't align the car, and I didn't notice it until the front tires had worn down on the outsides and it was time to throw them away. And they still, if I hadn't worn those down, they probably would have had another year on them anyway, because I don't drive that much anymore. But anyway, so I had to buy new tires. So that was probably the fourth set of tires I bought for the car. But batteries, I'm pretty sure I've had 4 or 5 batteries. You know, we moved to Florida. Batteries get cooked pretty easy. So the last one I bought was supposed to be the one that would last for 3 years, guaranteed for 3 years. And the battery light's been coming on. I went to the newer mechanic. He says I needed a new alternator. Well, I got a new alternator, original equipment, put on by the dealership, and that was just a year ago. So I knew there was something wrong there. So I thought, oh God, I got to go look for another mechanic. But anyway, I went back to the parts store where I bought the battery, and they checked it out, and they said, well, this battery is over 4 years old and should not be working right now. He says, but it shows it's fine. And I said, does it show that anything's wrong with the alternator? He said, no, the alternator's fine. He had a scope on it and everything. And so he said, clean the posts, and that's the battery post. So I went home, cleaned them, and the battery light went off. And that lasted, that's lasted for about 2 months now. And anyway, the battery light's flickering again. So I know that he told me this battery shouldn't be working anymore. It's 4 years, so I'm going to buy a battery. And anyway, that's my story, and I'm gonna stick to it. My next car is going to be a used car. It was driven by a little old lady that just drove it to church once a week, downhill both ways, and it's going to be fine. And I will not put the negative vibes on it. So that's it. I'll talk to you later.